Well, as expected, it's not going to fit, but we only need the center. So this guy's got us on his ring, so I'm sure he's going to be real impressed that you know, I drove 4.5 hours to buy a hood to cut her up in his driveway. Let's do it. Welcome back. Marketplace strikes again. We're on the road early, or we're getting ready to get on the road. 4 hours and 10 minutes. Let's go see what we can find. Finally, we made it. We're ready to get out, huh, oh bug? Well, let's go see what we come all this way for. Woo! It's a hood. Look at that, guys. There is our new hood scoop. Whew. A little over 4 hours to get here, but man, I'm excited. Let's see if it'll fit in the van.
You first?
Let's see. Oh yeah, it's got a ring there. Oh yeah, that ain't gonna fit at all.
Okay, well, cut it up.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Well, as expected, it's not gonna fit, but we only need the center. So this guy's got us on his ring, so I'm sure he's gonna be real impressed that you know, I drove 4.5 hours to buy a hood to cut her up in his driveway. Let's do it. Fit like a glove. Minor trimming. We got a couple pieces, but that's pretty good. Let's go home now. Good morning. Wet one out there. April's bringing them showers. Anyways, we got us a hood. 8.5 hour drive straight through, 13 with kids. But yeah, we got a hood. Pretty happy. Thunderbird 64.5. Been looking for, you know, creative parts for this thing for a while now. Heavy for the last couple weeks. Trying to find cool stuff of the era, you know, that fits. Wanted to, you know, style up the hood, and been looking, you know, all through the 60s. I was kind of set on like the Pontiac or the Ford heavy duty scoop of the you know what, or mid 60s, something like that, like the Fords, whatever. They're pretty cool scoop, but they're pretty spendy. $300-400, $500 for the one with chrome, and they're hard to find, you know, or you got to pay up for them pretty good. So I was kind of looking around at other models. Rain's picking up on us. Other models through the 60s. Then, like I say, the T-Bird. We're not trying to, you know, blend a Ford with a Dodge here, guys. I don't know what's going on. We're just looking for cool stuff, and this looks cool to me. Like I say, 63 2.3. We're a little bit more pointed, and that's what I could find in my area, of course. cheap, but it just didn't fit the build. So we had to kind of travel for this one. But the chrome was super nice. I found one locally, but it needed a new chrome. And time I just got that off eBay, it was like, I might as well just go get this hood. 125 bucks. I wasn't gonna go get it. Like I say, it was a long ways away. Guy wanted a couple $100 for it. Then he dropped the price on it. And it was like, I better go get it. And we're kind of at a creator's block on the back. You know, that's kind of where I've been. Just running into a few roadblocks. And I don't want to rush it. You know, we want to make sure we're getting it nailed down right. So I thought, well, let's just get an episode out for you guys and get this done. So let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's gonna look pretty sweet on here. Really excited about it, honestly. This body line is the only thing I'm kind of concerned about. It does stick up quite a bit here in the front, and then it fades off to about, well, it fades off to nothing, but about 1/8 inch in the middle. This here on the front is completely smooth. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. This chrome, blah, 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 doesn't allow for much, body line there. So I'm not for sure how that's going to work out. But overall, I think looks pretty good. Caught a couple bruisers that we'll tap out before we get her on there, because that hood's in really good shape. And welding her on, we're going to try to, kind of keep her pretty clean to the scoop. And then here, this is where I see a lot of guys weld cowls on and stuff. And they do it, kind of way out here like this. That creates tons and tons and tons of body work. Way easier to warp out here. Like I say, that hood's in good shape. So the plan is, if you're welding out here, then you got to fill, on both sides. So the plan, keep her nice and tight right here to this curve, weld her, and then we just got just a little bit of filler there. So anyways, that's how I'm going to do it. Creates a little less body work. I'm always trying to think of that because I get tired of block sand and Bondo. So anyways, let's get the old grinders out and finish slicing that bad boy up, get her set on there, because I am just dying to see how that thing looks on there. And then I guess hopefully it fits, and we'll start, well, we're gonna make it fit. But start welding her on there, getting her on there, and excited for it. So let me know what you guys think. Again, American Custom Car Build Off, Salina, Let's Sled Spectacular. Again, I said it's April. Time is just flying by. So we got to get rolling. Let's get the grinder out. Well, that went pretty good. How's it fit? Is the question. We got some support in the back we got to trim off. Oh yeah, already liking it. Oh yeah. Yeah, looking pretty slick, huh? Took off, what, 7 inches off the rear, and I'm liking it so far. From the front, really knocks off the old luxury look and puts in that hot rod feel, in my opinion. I like the scoop once we get her all unmasked and stuff. And up here, I think we can kind of just, trim that, whatever, fade that body line off to nothing. So that's kind of what it does at the back of the hood anyway. So I think that'll work out all right. Once we trim that, I think this is all going to fit down and fit pretty decent. It does have, the bolts and stuff from up front, so we probably should cut us an access hole to get to that. I do want that removable. But overall, looking really good. I don't like from the side how it just comes, back and then bam, down. Looked on a T-Bird, and they have wipers on both opposite sides, whatever. So the center of the cowl kind of comes in. They've got this all grafted in. Looks really sweet. That'd be cool, but we'd have to redo the whole wipers and all that. You know, I'm not looking to do all that. So I'm thinking we just gonna come in here and do that number. You know, look at that. That seems to really like that. It seems to flow down nicely. We just gonna pin that down there. Only thing we need to deal with is here is these hard lines. We're just gonna have to trim till that fits nicely. But I think that's what we're gonna do. I do think maybe I'll move her back just a little bit. I still think, you know, on T-Bird, they really, I don't know, the hood was a lot different. It seems like they had her a lot further forward, but I think we ought to bring her back, I don't know, 3-4 inches. Just get a look here. And I think that's probably something like that. Yeah, something like that. That's about with the front wheel. That's probably what we're gonna do. Probably trim off, like I say, 3-4 inches off the rear. Pin her down in the rear and you know, start welding her on. So I think I'm gonna start trimming. Nothing really to that, just trim, try to keep her fitting tight and right, and get that hood prepped out and stuff, and we'll start welding that baby on. Man, it's looking really good though. Let me know what you guys think. I am excited for that one. Looks tough. Yeah, that's what it needed, in my opinion. It looks a lot better from the side. And we got a little bit around the back side here that we can still weld that, blend that out with filler, and be perfect. We got a pretty good gap along the side, a little fat there, but I think there's a couple bolts here. We need to trim that. This is kind of recessed. I think once we trim that spot out, that will go down. And we're hung up on this body line here. So I think once we do a little trimming on the hood itself, that will go on down. So I'm going to mark her out, grind and prep the hood a little bit. Then we'll do a little cutting on the hood, get us a cubby hole there to get to that stuff, and then we'll weld her on. Looks good though. Prepped and ready. Got her ground all the way around. Decided to just kind of mark it all out where I like it, centered and all that good stuff. Made a couple reference points on here and on the scoop. That way we can, you know, move her on and off, and it's right where we want it. So I marked out this section here. We need to cut that out immediately because that is this section here where our bolts and stuff are going to be. If you see here, You see that it's raised up a little bit, and our bolts. So that's where it's keeping us up, raised up off the hood. So yeah, initially we need to get this cut out. But unfortunately from the bottom side, there's a big cross beam that goes right in through there. I'm almost positive. So for measuring it out and stuff, we're gonna run right into it. So we're gonna cut this skin out here first, see what we're getting into there. That way we can get that to set in there flush. And we gotta figure out how do we get, you know, to the nuts and all that stuff. So anyways, let's cut that up. All right, got our weld through primer all the way around, drilled our holes out, you know, nice and big so we can get in there with a socket, whatever. Got this in here so we can get, you know, from the bottom side up. Even seeing that our rad hose here is rubbing this cross member, so I marked that from the bottom side, you know, because eventually that's going to be a problem. And then, yeah, trim this body line down. So now that kind of just fades off into nothing. So I think we're ready. Weld her on, you know, finally at that point. So yeah, we can get to these bolts, we can get to these bolts, so shouldn't have any trouble. Got the primer up in there just in case, you know, some moisture does happen to get up in there, it doesn't rust everything up. But fitting really good, back where we need to be. And look at our gap now, look at that. I mean, nice and tight all the way around. So that's perfect, I like it. Looks good. Let me know what you guys think. It's working out pretty good. Let's make it official. Weld her on. Just like that, official. It's on there. Man, that looks good. Just gotta stop and take a minute. Just soak all that in. And I love it. Looks good. Let's get her finished up. Yeah, what do you think? Ground up, welded up, got the chrome unmasked, looks good. Man, I'm happy with it. I went ahead and glued the bottom of the hood, just kind of, you know, give the rigidity back to the whole hood and all that good stuff. So it's pretty well ready for filler and all that good stuff. Not that it's gonna take much, really, to see. I mean, that turned out nice, happy with it. If I was to do over again, I'd probably rounded those corners. I'd probably round these corners a little bit too. It did pull on me on both corners just a little bit. I should have known better than that, but whatever. Overall, like I say, a little bit of filler turned out really, really nice. Super happy with it. Big improvement. Let me know what you guys think. I think it gives it all kinds of attitude. So anyways, American Custom Car Build, that's what we're doing her for. Like, share, subscribe. See you on the next one.